So the Constitutional Committee, you know, I would say I would want it to be more than just a repository of information and matters concerning constitution and constitutional law and the constitutionality of certain laws that we adopted in the country. I also want it to be a store, a repository of information that creates a certain reference in terms of textbooks, pamphlets, magazines, articles specifically concerning constitutional law and how it helps to constitute the identity that Jamaicans are fostering in this 21st century. And especially with this liaison with Harvard Law, I would like, one, we would have the Constitution as it is to present to the people. Two, I would like a revised copy, not necessarily an amended copy as it, just a revised copy, which then re-examines the language in which the Constitution is written, and then that re-examination of the language now put over into a fresh and modern language. That being done, we can now begin to have a rallying point to which now to refer the people to the referendum we want and the amendments of the Constitution, or to change it altogether to reflect this new Jamaican identity. The issue is now we need to have this information broken down in terms of different material. And this Constitutional Council which I'm proposing has to have as its responsibility that kind of a base, sourcing of the information, helping to assimilate the information into the society in all the different spheres, multimedia, in the arts, in the sciences, in terms of within the academia, and within all the NGOs and social work and civic organizations. And this Constitutional Council has to have a legal arm which then now is enabled to deal with breaches of our constitutional rights by the states and these large multinational corporations in this changing global age where multinationals now control a huge part of our economic and to some degree political, and it eventually will factor out into your social existence. Now, I know my lingo, my language ain't necessarily to the empiricals as it is said in academia, but the basic gist of what I'm saying is this. I would like us to have a Constitutional Council, an institution vested with the powers to deal with breaches of the law, specifically by the state, give the people representation, sort of like a legal aid office, but also having a division to deal with sensitizing information that needs the Constitution and deal with issues and cases that we can have a kind of a reference point for all the legal documents and all the cases that will now come. Also, I would like the Constitutional Council to establish an arm to deal with breaking down the Constitution in terms of an academic document, creating textbooks, workbooks, not just for university, but for high school and preschool, primary schools, and such, where the law can now be taught in some digestible form in all spheres of Jamaican education. Sort of like you have a little manual now that talks about human rights that is distributed amongst the schools that deals with Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I would like to see that now, that we have our own constitutional document like that now, declaring Jamaican rights under our constitution. And now factor into creating programs, media program, multimedia campaigns, where we can now sensitize Jamaicans to their rights under the law. This is the 21st century. Our Prime Minister said that by 2030 he would love to see Jamaica being a first world nation. And that is part of my paradigm. And this is why I am now partnering with Kevin on this Reconstitute Jamaica. So the deconstruction of Jamaica comes in us really re-examining the Constitution to see if it is really saying what it should say in the year 2008 and beyond to deal with the issues of the African retentive populace. And that's the issue. The issue is Jamaica need to know that we are secure under the law and that we can now use this platform to create identity, to create a Jamaican dream.